ready for another lesson?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz, and on today's episode, we got some new show and movie announcements for you guys. No trailer talk this week. We'll get to the new to streaming for yet another light week to end April. April's been an extraordinarily dry month for the new to streaming. We'll get to what we're watching, of course, and then our main review for the episode is Mortal Kombat, which I'm sure Nathaniel is not very happy with how I pronounced that, right, Nathaniel?
You mean Mortal Kombat?
You gotta say that.
That's another way to say it. I guess there's more than one pronunciation.
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't get that clip in time. I wanted to have it from the original video game, but sorry, team.
Sure.
Just do it in your mind.
Listeners, of course, that is the Kung Lao Stan, Nathaniel Gingrich. How you doing, Nathaniel?
Good. I was introduced to Kung Lao yesterday when I watched this movie for the first time.
Yeah.
So I just I'm all on board now. I like his big hat, so I think that's
You're
cool.
all for Kung Lao, all right.
Yeah. He's got kind of the most fun thing out of all the ones that we saw in this movie, I think.
Yeah, man. He's got a
Spoilers, I
buzzsaw
guess.
hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can teleport.
Apparently,
It's
yeah.
pretty strong.
Yeah. I want to learn how to do that.
Also joining us is the Goro Guru, Tyler Vidalis.
What's up? He doesn't really say a lot. He's just like kind of like.
I know, but he's got 4 arms, man. That's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool character.
Do you think? So in the original game, is he like the same size as you, for the most part?
No.
No, he's always been bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger, yeah.
What about like in like the OG, like Mortal Kombat 1?
Still bigger.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I would bet.
He just has 4 arms.
Yeah, he's massive.
How would you go against that? I feel like you're at a disadvantage having only 2 arms.
2 arms?
Yeah.
Seeing
being
as he can
smaller.
hold your legs and your neck and then punch
I
you
guess
in both the
that's
body
what
and the head.
So okay.
He does that sometimes.
We're gonna have to we can't talk anymore about this. We'll get into like spoilers of the movie.
Well, he does that in the game.
Yeah, I guess. I have so many questions about the universe.
All right.
I might be able to answer some of those.
We'll get to him, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
hopefully
see.
Blake, our resident Mortal Kombat expert, can get to some of those questions. Because I have some too. I have played some of the Mortal Kombat games, but
sure.
I've not. I'm no expert by any means. But of course, our Mortal Kombat expert is the Katana and Habana main, BlakeHolder.
What's going on, man?
Two of Blake's favorite games there.
Yep. And they just
Are those
happen to
are those
rhyme.
number 1 and number 2? I mean, you seem to only play those 2 games for the most part.
Yeah, dude. To be honest, yeah. I'll play Apex every once in a while.
I'd love if it was like that, like Mortal Kombat. Was it Siege?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like Untitled Goose Game or something, like something like completely different on like a completely different system.
Yeah.
Like
I almost
It's like
don't even
Siege,
have a
and then
third.
what was that one game everyone was playing like in September?
Animal Crossing.
No, that Tim's Hatman was playing.
Oh,
Fall
Fall Guys.
Valorant.
Fall Guys.
Oh, Fall Guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blake's, Blake's the
I
number
know what
1
you're
Fall
talking
Guys
about.
player.
They
Hilarious.
said that game was super stressful.
It was fun. I played it for a bit, but just like most games like that, they died out pretty fast.
Yeah. You know what game made me really upset now that we're on that binge? Flappy Bird. I was really bad at that game.
Oh yeah. See, I never
loved Flappy Bird.
I never downloaded it. I knew I would lose my mind.
Oh, dude, yeah, that thing drove me insane.
It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. You were
Loved
good?
Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
I was so
I
excited.
guess I don't know what you consider good.
Yeah, sure. Right.
I got to, I think my highest was like 123 or something like
Oh, yeah,
that.
it's way higher than what I've gotten to.
Stupid.
I think I got over.
I'm glad
123.
that little genre never took off. Just games designed to be infuriating.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all it was. Yeah, definitely.
It kind of helped me though, because like I feel like how mad I get sometimes at Call of Duty. I got way more mad at like Flappy Bird trying to beat that.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, Flappy Bird was infuriating. And the reason I don't know if you guys remember, but the developer like shut it down after like 3 months of it being.
Yeah,
out
and then you couldn't get it.
Death threats.
I actually
you couldn't get
still
it for a
have
while,
that downloaded on my iPad.
I remember there being like
can't
stories of
play it
people
anymore.
selling the like iPads that still had it on there or something like that because they could it was still live.
It's
Yeah.
on my old phone. My screen's just broke as shit.
Really?
So until I decide if I ever want to pull anything off there, I have to get it fixed.
Yeah, I might have to look to see if I can sell that iPad away. Okay, maybe we can get some money for that.
There you go. Fund the pod.
Let's do it. But yeah, let's what else we got on the docket, Adam?
Yeah, well, we can get into the news here, guys. Our first news story of the day involves our favorite solo artist, Vin Diesel, as he is to star in Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie for Universal and Mattel.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So, is this going to be real steel again? Like,
that's like yeah, that's where my mind goes.
yeah, that's exactly where my mind goes. I can't see it being too far off of something like real steel.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess what would the difference be? You're always controlling the robot, where like Real Steel almost like they like program him into a thing. He kind of has. Doesn't Adam have more of a? Oh no, he's linked to him, isn't he?
It's a shadow
I think they
boxing
are
feature.
Yeah, that's what it was.
No, so you can have like voice commands from Real Steel.
Oh, that's what it was.
and you can have
yeah.
like pre-programmed like
Okay.
voice commands.
Yeah.
So like if you like said uppercut, it could be like an uppercut with a series of like punches afterwards.
Okay.
Instead of having to say like uppercut, punch, punch, punch,
Yeah,
punch.
yeah. Not, 1-2s.
But yeah, at the end of that movie, it's a shadow boxing feature,
Okay.
which is why he's moving every
With
which
it.
way with huge jacked man.
Yes, I do remember that. So
Okay.
I guess maybe with Rock'em Sock'em, the idea would be that you,
Control him the whole time.
yeah.
Either that or maybe they like take a whole new spin on it and you're in it. Like you're in a suit. Like a big robot suit.
And then if you lose, you die.
Whoa.
You just it hits your head, and then
Your
the
head
goes
flies
up
off.
and you explode, and that's it. It just gets
What if
really
they make
violent.
What if they make the robots like really big, like kaiju size, and then they have them fight in a stadium?
No.
No, you wouldn't be down for that?
No, it's way too big.
All right, maybe not that big, but what if they made them?
I don't know about
What if they made them bigger?
Like how big is
I'm
the
thinking, like,
stadium if they're
Pacific
that
Rim.
big?
I don't know. Make it as big as you want. CGI is a magical thing.
Yeah, why not? I don't know.
I'm just throwing out ideas here because this, honestly, I don't see how much different it can be.
I
from
just-
Real
yeah.
Steel besides you sub out Hugh Jackman for Vin Diesel.
It's a
I
baffling
don't.
choice.
Yeah, I don't know how you make this interesting to like anybody. I can just see it now, like on the big screen.
And they're
Vin
gonna like,
Diesel, Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
and they're gonna like try and make it all like gritty, and
Yeah,
like
I
it'll be filmed in that thing where like all of the blacks are crushed, like it'll
Yeah.
be contrasted to
Yep,
to
to
the
shit.
gills.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys this then. I mean, do you guys think that it's? We all don't think the movie's going to be that good. Do we think that Vin Diesel is a good fit for this movie though? Because that sounds like
He looks like a Rock'em Sock'em
Yeah.
robot.
Yeah.
So
I don't know who else
I
you
d-
could cast. For
Yeah,
it.
I
He's
just
got the
don't know
same
how
cranium.
else. I don't know how else you can. Like Real Steel did robots like perfectly. Like it's like for fighting. Like I
Right.
don't. It's very hard to want to up that.
what if this is just Vin Diesel fighting a series of robots as a human man? Like
I
he
would
just,
die.
He just has to like fight just like
I would die.
any like the actual Rock'em Sock'em robot. Robot?
Either that or it's just robots that you just.
robots.
It's just it's a live action Vin Diesel
Yeah.
just a tournament of Rock'em Sock'em roboting the actual game
Yeah,
itself.
maybe it's like supposed to be like
That'd be nuts.
a throwback movie to like when Rock'em Sock'em Robots first came out.
It's
It's
like-
like a documentary, like
Oh,
shot kind of way.
Or it's almost like a
like a period piece or something.
Yeah. Like you get to see him grow up as like the world back to back. I don't even know when that fucking came out, like 1975, 1974.
Man, when did Rock'em Sock'em Robots come out? It's got to be before that. I think it might be before that.
it's a
It's
it's
the old, yeah.
yeah. It's a biopic of the man they used to model the robots after.
Yeah. It's like Queen's
Rock'em
Gambit, but
Sock'em
with Rock'em
Robots.
Sock'em Robots.
1964.
Wow.
Wow. yeah.
It was a decade off.
Yeah. Originally manufactured by the Marx Toy Company.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to be good, but good luck.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, this is gonna it's going to be written by the same writer as the Rock movie Rampage, and
Oh no.
it also yeah, it also says in the story that Mattel has other live action movies based on their IPs, including Barbie, Barney, Hot Wheels, and Magic 8 Ball.
Magic 8 Ball?
What did you get into? I don't.
That's what it says here. That's
Wow.
what it's saying here on the Hollywood Reporter story. So
We can move
stay
on.
tuned for those blockbusters.
Okay.
All right.
Get out now, Vin.
And for our next news story, kind of a follow up to one I think we did last week or the week before regarding a deal Sony did with Netflix.
Yep.
But Sony films will move to Disney after Netflix window expires. So it was the Netflix deal between them and Sony was for their original pay one window, which is about 18 months after the release of the movie. Once that ends, then the Sony movies are going to go to Disney Plus, I guess indefinitely.
Wow.
Weird.
Funny.
Which is a lot
it's crazy
wild.
on Disney's part.
Yeah,
And
that's
also, I
pretty
mean,
wild.
good for Sony to be making all these
Right.
deals. I mean,
Yeah, Sony's
at
just
least
set up for the next 20 years. I
Right,
guess.
exactly.
And-
Sony's playing these things smart.
Does that mean that Disney's going to get all that Spider-Man stuff too, right?
I guess so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure that's a
kind of how
huge
they
pushing
worked it out.
point.
I saw
Yeah.
somewhere, I don't know how they worked it out, but I did see somewhere that the Spider-Man titles are actually coming to Disney Plus
Yep.
somehow.
That'll be
Which
clutch.
doesn't make a lot of sense to me considering the deal that they just made with Netflix, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's I mean, who knows? By that point, Disney Plus might be like the biggest like streaming service in the world. You know,
Sounds like it. They're the biggest everything else in the world.
I mean, they're
It's climbing.
kind of like, you know, they're the ones that are making the series right now that everyone's tuning in week after week for
Yeah.
with your WandaVisions and Falcon and the Winter Soldiers. I mean, I don't think I'm keeping up with anything else week to week currently.
No.
There's
Yeah, I think Disney Plus and HBO Max just have like the streaming in a chokehold right now.
I mean, it feels to me like Netflix is like turned into like true crime
I hardly go on Netflix. Man.
and like
Yeah.
documentaries,
and weird
stand-up specials.
Yeah, and weird like almost reality show style like programming at this
Yeah.
point. And then
I
occasionally
hardly
you'll
go
get
on
like
it.
some director who drops a passion project on there or something.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I've been excited for a Netflix release.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm trying to think of like the actual
Yeah.
last one that was original that I was well, we did Ma Rainey's,
Yeah.
right?
I guess that was the last one I can think of though. But I mean, if you're gonna be calling yourself the world's, you know, kind of #1 streaming
right,
service,
you got to do something else. I'm
Do you
with
guys ever see yourself canceling Netflix?
Oh man,
I don't pay for it, so no.
I pay for mine.
I guess that's one answer. I guess I don't pay for it either.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't watch it that much. My dad does watch it way more than I do, so I probably
Yeah.
won't cancel it just because of that. But I wish, man, if it was up to me, I'd be cool
don't
with
know.
just HBO Max.
That's wild. If you asked me 2 years
Yeah.
ago, that I would say no way I'm canceling Netflix just because they were the staple streaming service. But now there just are so many that have been taking their content. They're taking the movies that they had on there to stream that wasn't
Right.
like the original content.
yeah.
It's so diluted now that Netflix, I go on there and I'm like, this is all kind of It's a
Yeah.
bunch of meh original programming and then
Absolutely, dude.
some good. I mean, there's some good stuff on there, but it's not. It's stuff I've already seen or
Right.
Yeah, I feel like it's just all stale stuff at this point, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
horror
It feels like
genre
it's
on
stale.
Netflix used to be just bangers, but now
Yeah,
it's
really
dry.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I did see in the news last week that I just decided not to put in the news, but there's a lot of streaming services, Netflix especially, that are going after both Korean films and Japanese anime and trying to get original shows made through these Japanese animation studios, and then same thing in South Korea with original movies and shows being created there. And there's just like a huge market right now for those two things because they're very, very popular on almost every streaming service. And Netflix has started to see that and are kind of trying to buy into that more.
Right.
So we'll see. Maybe they go to that route. And because we've been talking about one place for anime, we keep mentioning what place that might end up being. Maybe it's Netflix.
Yeah.
It's HBO Max.
Whoever they could, if they could just pump as much money as they could into fixing Funimation's app, I'd really appreciate
Be
it.
great.
That's the worst thing I've
Is that
ever
where
come
you guys watch
across.
most of your anime?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just got the
my
biggest
friend's the same way.
selection, but it's man.
It's just it's made for more of like a mobile scenario, and they don't have like two different programs, one for like TV or like
Right.
console versus like your phone or a tablet. You can just tell that it's way more geared towards a mobile
it's dog shit.
user or on a computer.
Do they have an app for that, like on your Xbox, PlayStation?
Yeah,
TV?
but that's what
But
I'm
it's
saying. The
but it's
user
the
interface.
same. Yeah, but it's the same format that you would get like on your phone. There is no differentiating
Right.
between
Right.
the two, so it works like dog ass on a TV or a
Yeah.
console.
But what's next? I'm ready. Segue,
I'm
Adam.
sorry. Sometimes
Captain
sometimes
America.
I just don't want to jump in right away because of that Discord delay, where I just
No,
kind of
all
want to give it a
good, man.
sec and see if anyone's gonna tag on. Again, I'm back in 3 weeks, guys. Coming back in about 3
Counting
weeks.
down.
So, yeah. But for our next news story, Captain America 4 in the works with Falcon and the Winter Soldier showrunner Malcolm Spellman. So
Have you,
the writer,
Have you finished the show yet?
I did. Yeah, I watched episode 6.
Okay. Tyler and I are
I'm
still.
all caught up.
Tyler and I have not watched that yet, so we'll have
Oh,
to
okay.
avoid spoilers
Yeah,
as
it's
much as
been
we can.
it's been busy.
Okay. For sure. I will make note of that.
So this is the 4th movie.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like how they're picking it up where it's Captain America 4 and they're not
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
What
like
was
their
the
own-
third
their
Captain
own
America?
Civil War.
hero,
Yeah, you're right.
which was basically an Avengers movie.
Right.
But
That's why I almost got lost in my memory.
I'll be interested
Yeah.
to see if they keep the number in the title because they haven't really done that since Iron Man. Everything else has been kind of like title : the
Yeah,
chapter or
it's been a
something like
while.
that. So I wonder if like as we get closer, we'll learn that it's actually going to be called something else or something like that.
yeah, because I mean the other I probably not if I had to guess because the other Captain Americas, it's Captain America the First Avenger, Captain America
Winter Soldier.
the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War. So I mean that hasn't been the trend.
True.
So I doubt they keep the 4. Maybe this. I mean, I'm sure this is very early in production, so they probably just haven't come up with a title for it.
Maybe
This
he'll
is-
be maybe Captain America will be running like the Young Avengers or something at that point. Like my theory
Yeah,
that I've been positing.
Okay.
I like your theory, Nathaniel. I think you might be on something, but we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, if you guys haven't watched the episode 6 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm excited, and I definitely think this could go some interesting places. Because I'm very interested to see after how they ended it. Not necessarily the ending itself, but how they made the character of how they made Sam take up the mantle and what he says once he does of Captain America. It's interesting, and so I hope they keep on with the themes that they've been keeping on with.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on. Keep it on.
Keep it on. All right, and then our next news story, one I have mixed feelings about, but is timely to one of the shows what we're watching. How I Met Your Father, starring Hilary
Oh.
Duff, and Nabs Hulu series order.
Okay. Well, so when How I Met Your Mother ended, the next pilot season there was a pilot for How I Met Your Father that was written by
How I Met Your Dad.
How I Met Your Dad. Okay, yeah, that was
Yeah.
written by
That was
was
2014.
had the original showrunners on it, and I'm pretty sure it like got sent back for like rewrites, and then they were gonna try and see if they could they redid it again, and then that never got picked up by anyone, and so now they're trying to go bring this back to Hulu. So I guess what I'm saying is it's not unprecedented that surprising that this is coming back or out there, especially when, as we've just kind of been talking about, everyone needs content currently, and if it's original content, more's the better.
Yeah, this is going to be from the writers of This Is Us and Love Victor. So those kind of showrunners. It's Isaac Aptaker and Elizabeth Berger.
Is it gonna be a comedy? Like, is it gonna be doing the?
Yes.
Okay, so it is kind of like.
the
Is it in the
Sorry,
How I
go
Met Your Mother averse?
Basically, yeah. The description for the show reads: in the near future, Sophie, Hilary Duff, is telling her son the story of how she met his father. A story that catapults us back to the year 2021, where Sophie and her close-knit group of friends are in the midst of figuring out who they are, what they want out of life, and how to fall in love in the age of dating apps and limitless options. Which I think is interesting because I mean, if you as I'm rewatching How I Met Your Mother, I think the dating world has changed so much with the advent of dating apps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so seeing that difference, I mean, there's obviously dating is dating. There's a lot of overlap still, but seeing that difference and seeing that is the angle they're going to take with it, I'm kind of interested. They've kind of piqued my interest. We'll have to see how that turns out.
What was the last thing you saw Hilary Duff in?
That was going to be my next question or my next thing I was going to comment on. I have no idea. I can look up her IMDb.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready for a comeback. Sure, why not?
Cinderella, maybe.
Yeah. Did she have a Lizzie McGuire like re-up or something like that at some point?
Maybe. I don't know.
A reboot?
TMZ for sure.
She was in a show called Younger.
Okay.
And a movie called The Haunting of Sharon Tate in 2019. Those are her two most recent credits.
Interesting. Younger, I've heard of. Haunting of Sharon Tate, not so much.
Yeah, she hasn't been in a ton recently. As I'm looking down, she's been in some stuff, but it's not like super notable stuff. It seems to be a lot of smaller projects.
Ready for a comeback.
But yeah, I'd be interested. I mean, I'm not anti Hilary Duff by any means.
Yeah, I think I never really. I'll be honest. I was not a Lizzie McGuire kid, and I didn't have
I remember
sisters.
watching a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I only have a brother,
not
so
much.
it wasn't on in my house.
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of it.
I could imagine you. I thought you would have been.
Yeah,
but I guess
just with Four Little Sisters. But
Right.
I mean, even then,
it would kind of miss their age. I would imagine
it was
yeah.
like there's a 6-year gap between me and
Yeah.
my oldest younger sisters, and it was pretty much like right in that gap.
Right.
So
All right. Well, I'm going to say it. Back Row Banter, pro Hilary Duff. So until we learn otherwise, and I'm sure she's done something horrible or something,
she'll get canceled.
Yeah. And then until then, we reserve the right to change our mind.
Yeah.
But as of now, pro Hilary Duff.
Hilary, you're welcome on the show anytime.
Yeah. You and Miles.
You and Miles. Maybe we'll do a double feature,
There
double
we go.
episode. All right. Well, for our last news story of the day, House of Dragon starts production on Game of Thrones prequel. Releases photo. So they sent a photo out of their table reads for the House of Dragon prequel show that is set 300 years before the events of the original one. So we're officially on the track to get more Game of Thrones.
Oh boy.
Which, you know what? I'm excited for.
I was going to say, where are
friend
you
has
in the
been-
process?
I'm excited, man.
Okay.
My friend has been rewatching Game of Thrones, so I've been catching an episode here and there over the past 2 weeks, and just rewatching that show, I'm just like, wow, I forgot how good this is, and how deep these storylines get, and then the characters and the character arcs. Like, if they come in with a similar level of quality to even they don't have to match it, but if it's close, I will be all for it. I think it'd be hard to match, but as long as they get close.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, I don't see. I think nowadays it's probably a better bet that they get pretty close to it. I mean, think if it's up to the level of Falcon and Winter Soldier or WandaVision and in adaptation to a larger project, as a spin-off, quote unquote, then I think they'd be in pretty good shape. I think that's something to aim for, maybe, or I don't know. I hope it frees them up a little bit though. Maybe you're not going with a storyline quite so closely linked to a book or anything like that. You a little bit more freedom. Maybe you get a little get a little bit weirder with the world.
Sure.
But I'll have to wait. I'll have to wait till a trailer comes out to gauge my interest in this at this point.
Sure.
I think.
Agreed.
And I think that's totally fair, especially how that last season ended and the qualms that a lot of people have with it. I think that's a very fair statement to make.
So is this just one of those mini spin-offs you said they were in the process of making?
Yeah, isn't there like
Right.
5 of them?
Yeah.
There was like
The-
6
yeah, we
potential
went over, I
ones,
think
and
it
then
was
we
5 or
thought,
6.
yeah, like we figured like 2 or 3 of them might make it.
Yeah. But this is like the main one, obviously, as it's the first one to get into production. But
Right.
Sure.
yeah.
I'm sure it'll do numbers. I'm sure a lot of people will watch it.
Yeah, I think so.
I guarantee it.
I think that audience is probably
Yeah,
still there.
I would say so too. I think the Game of Thrones IP is gotten so big the past few years, especially
yeah, dude.
building up to that final season.
Yeah,
A
I
lot of
think
people-
a majority of what they did in the previous 9 seasons
Will tide
netted
people over.
them more reliability and more trust with like real fans than the last season did.
For sure.
Although a bad ending does piss a lot of people off.
Yeah,
Yeah, they say that's a horrible ending.
Yeah.
Right?
it's not good.
Yeah, I remember. seeing all
it's
the
not great.
uproar.
I personally don't hate it as much as everybody else does, but I do see why everybody else does hate it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
Ty,
more-
where do you come down on that last season?
It's not that great for me.
Okay.
I feel like there could have been some much better ways to
yeah, the
add
plot-
some closure.
I
and
guess the plot is not something that I'm so much have an issue with. It's just the tone
execution.
and the setting and execution is more my issues with
Yeah.
it overall. And that in that it just doesn't feel earned in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't got too much to say, guys. I have not seen Game of Thrones.
I think we got a chorus of kind of mildly enthused yes.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think that about sums it up for you listeners.
Yeah, I think so.
So let's keep on
Alright.
keeping on right on
Yeah,
into
that-
what we're
that
watching.
That was our last news story. Listeners, I do want to let you guys know we're not going to cover any Oscars because none of us watched them. And only Nathaniel watched more than one of the Best Picture noms. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it to everybody else to talk
Sure.
about the Oscars because I'm sure there are plenty of people doing so.
Yeah, you guys talk about it and then
Amongst
email
yourselves.
us. Email us and we'll read your thoughts or something
There we
along
go.
those lines. Leave it in a 5-star review.
Hey.
I like that.
Hey. All right. Well, there's no trailer talk this week, so we're just going to head into the Adam Schwartz's completely subjective new to streaming list for the week of 4/25 through 4/30.
I love that
want to
name
give it a little
for the
disclaimer.
new list.
Saturday is the first of the month, but I'm just going to save all of the first week of the month for next episode. So this is just going to be your last week of April. Yet another light week. To Netflix, Battle of Los Angeles.
Meh.
That's
Very
not that bad. I don't think I'll watch it.
I've
I
never
would
seen
wa-
it, and I can kind of live the rest of my life
Yeah.
having not seen
Well,
it.
we
you're not
have the
missing
clip
anything.
at work.
I know, and I've seen that 8 million
that's
times.
one of the main
Yeah.
reasons I put it on the list is because that clip plays all the time.
Isn't
at
that the
work.
school bus scene?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the bridge. Yeah.
If I have to hear Yamo
Yeah.
be here one more time, Yamo burn this place.
I
to the
loved
ground.
that movie as a kid.
Yeah, it was kind of from what I remember, and when it came out, it was kind of a middling movie then,
Meh.
but like it was more positive than negative for
Yeah.
the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be it for Netflix. To Amazon Prime, you're going to have Arrival, a Back Row Banter favorite.
Friend of the pod.
First
Yeah.
up, wasn't it?
Yeah. that
No,
was-
no.
It was third.
First up
after.
was King of Staten Island.
Oh, I'm
wasn't
sorry. I
It?
thought you said first on the list. No, yeah, first episode. You're correct on that.
Why did I
But it
forget
was
that?
it held number one until
held
The
number
Shining?
one
Yeah.
for
And then it's been The
something.
Shining ever
It
since.
wasn't. I don't think The Shining overtook it, did it? I think there was one before The Shining, and then The Shining took
Maybe
it.
was it Django?
Could have been.
No, we watched Django after Shining. I don't remember.
Oh man,
We
this
can-
is bad for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I think one is Shining. I think two is Django, and I
He's
think
right.
and I think three's
You know what?
Arrival.
He's right.
Yep, he's right.
Two is Django.
Yeah,
Shining, Django, Arrival,
Well,
Pans.
Hereditary.
Now
Hereditary,
here's
Halloween.
here's the real question: which came first? No, The Shining was.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure
4
it was The Shining.
episodes before Django. So the Arrival is the only other movie on the Entropy list to hold the number one spot besides The Shining.
We'll see if we can ever get it to 3 movies.
It really feels like
Yeah,
something we
see?
should know.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's how many movies on the Entropy list now? It's hard to
50-ish, I
remember
want
all
to
of them.
say.
47.
Yeah, there's 47,
Wow. Yeah,
soon to be
we're
48, and we're at
flying, man.
49 episodes. So it's a lot to keep track of at this point. It's not as easy as those
It was
first
all a
weeks.
dream.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, Arrival, Amazon Prime, we're all advocates of that. That's a great movie. Anybody who hasn't had the opportunity to see that, I would encourage
Definitely
it.
should.
Yes.
Also to Amazon Prime, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. I just think it's interesting.
Oh, this is the Michael B. Jordan one, right?
Is it?
I'm not
think it
even
might be.
sure.
This is the one that you and I were talking about. We were like, would you watch this? And we were like,
Oh.
something about it, probably not. But because it is on Amazon Prime, we're
And
like,
it's
yeah,
like
we'll
such a
throw
huge
it on.
cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
This is that one.
That's the one we're talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look that interesting to me.
Yeah.
It looks just so, like, standard. Like,
Yeah, it looks like a Netflix movie.
well, yeah, I mean, it's an Amazon
Yeah.
Prime
I mean,
movie.
it reminds me a lot of like Triple Frontier,
Extraction.
Extraction.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's just got
Extraction.
the Tom Clancy
film.
name behind it.
Yep.
But I'm sure he'll be good, Yeah,
I mean, like I said, we
Yeah,
said
he's a
it.
good actor.
We'll probably turn it on. He's earned enough respect.
no street cred with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Put
guys
some
are
respect on
comparing
my
it
name.
to Extraction. Is that the Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
joint? Yeah, I haven't even seen that either. Is it good?
I haven't watched it.
It's fine. It's serviceable.
Did you see Triple Frontier?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally the same movie with Chris Hemsworth in a
Gotcha.
different setting.
Sure.
Better or worse than
To,
Project Power?
I would say both are better.
Better than Project Power. There you
Yeah,
go.
I was gonna say Triple Frontier is definitely better than Project Power.
Yeah. I just hate that Ben Affleck gets clapped in the head by some mountain kid.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Whatever.
I agree with you though.
Yeah.
To Hulu. Arrival.
Hey, shout out Denny V.
They,
2 for 2.
HBO Max doesn't have anything for you. And then to Disney Plus, you're getting 22 versus Earth, which is a short film based on the character 22 from Soul.
Oh, okay.
The description reads, set before the events of Soul, the original short is directed by 20-year Pixar veteran Kevin Nolting. While making Soul, this is a quote, while making Soul, we talked about the why of a new soul not wanting to live on Earth, but it didn't ultimately belong in that movie, said Nolting. 22 versus Earth was a chance to explore some of the unanswered questions we had about why 22 was so cynical. As a fairly cynical person myself, it felt like perfect material. So in the short, 22 defies the rules of the great before and refuses to go to Earth, enlisting a gang of 5 other new souls in her attempt at rebellion. However, as her cohort's activities lead to unexpected results, 22's subversive plot may actually lead to a surprising revelation about the meaning of life.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I like Soul enough. 22
Yeah.
is a good character, so
Facts,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we all like Sold, so
Yeah.
I don't
We
have
all
a
really
problem
like Soul,
checking it
yeah.
out.
As long as there's more Jerry's. I like the Jerry's.
That'd be fun. Also coming to Disney Plus, Assembled, the making of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So this is going to be similar to that WandaVision one, just kind of how they made the show. I haven't checked out the WandaVision one, so I might check out both of these maybe this weekend. I don't know. I'm very interested to, because that WandaVision one, Nathaniel, is where you said they revealed a lot about how COVID affected the production, right?
Yeah, apparently COVID affected some of the Falcon and Winter Soldier too. Apparently, there's folks that were talking about. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about some YouTubers that were kind of delving into certain lines that they could see were ADR'd and something like that. And I guess there had been rumors that the original plot involved a virus rather than like that was part of the Flag Smashers plot line and stuff.
And then they were like, God, no, we can't.
Yeah,
we can't do it.
they had to like switch it
Yeah.
out and everything. So, but yeah, that was a rumor as well. So I'm wondering if that'll pop up in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is interesting because that kind of plot line is one of the ones that I think is less interesting or is kind of like not as fully baked as the rest of the storyline is.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with you. And the last thing coming to Disney Plus, The Lone Ranger. The
Have you seen
Johnny
this?
Depp and Army Hammer one. Are you asking me?
Yeah, I was asking you, Adam.
Yes, I have.
I
haven't. I don't think I've seen it since I saw it in theaters with my dad when I was like 11 or 12. But
what did you think?
I remember liking it, but again, I don't think I haven't seen it recently enough to form like an educated opinion on it. But I do remember liking it from when I did see it.
I'm kind of surprised that this is actually coming to Disney Plus, given like how notorious both of the lead characters have become. In like
both of them have slipped into some hot water in the past few years.
Particularly Army Hammer, with kind of everything that's going on with him recently, which I don't even talk about it on the pod here, but
yeah,
that's okay. I actually liked this movie when it came out. I think Gore Verbinski has an underrated eye in terms of his cinematography overall. He did this, and obviously the Pirates of the Caribbean, the first trilogy, and also actually the remake of The Ring, the one that everyone from 2003, the very famous Marvel movie. Yeah, directed by the same guy who did Pirates of the Caribbean.
Would have never guessed.
Exactly, right? But check it out if you feel like watching The Lone Ranger, I guess. I think it's a little bit underrated.
Yeah, never seen it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
It's a solid, fun watch.
Did that guy direct all of the Pirates of the Caribbean by chance?
The first 3.
How many of those are
there?
Oh,
okay. 5?
5? Yeah.
That was a good guess by me.
There you go.
It's going to sound crazy as I don't think I've seen more than 2 of those.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't mind them. I think towards the end they get a little washed out, but...
Yeah, 4 and 5 are not nearly as good as the other ones are.
1 and 2 are captivating.
Yeah, man. There was a period in time where that was like easily my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Like for most of middle school or something like that.
You're a big pirate guy.
Big pirate fan. But yeah, sorry, we just got way off on a tangent there. What we're watching? Can we do that now?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Why don't you kick it off, Nathaniel?
Not much. If you're not able to tell on the pod here, I'm very tired. I haven't been sleeping particularly well recently. And so consequently, I haven't really got to watch much. I think actually most everything I'm going to say is also going to be on Tyler's list. I didn't really watch anything that he wasn't a part of the other day or this past week.
Right.
We got really into Initial D. Did a lot of work on that.
Oh, yeah.
Initial D. Initial D. I think we're like down to almost the last episode on that.
Yeah, we're getting real close.
But it's another one of those shows that we just can't find the conclusion of. It's out there. We know it's been released it's the anime. It just hasn't. I don't think it's come to the States yet, even though it was released like 3 or 4 years ago. Which is weird and frustrating. But I came out the other day, Tyler. We've been on a racing kick overall in this household.
Just cars in general. Yeah. Really in style.
So I came out one morning and Tyler was watching Rush, which we had talked about, just came to Netflix. I
think so. Yeah, it was either a week or a couple weeks prior.
Yeah, it was a feature on the Adam Schwartz totally subjective new to Netflix streaming.
Yeah,
is that a movie or a show?
No,
very
it's a movie.
Respectable list, I hear.
Yeah, a lot of blogs are talking about it.
It's the ones where it's F1.
Okay,
and it's like 2 guys that are basically pinned up against each other. One's like very technical and like has to like learn his abilities, but he's very dedicated, and the other one's just like more of a natural talent. Doesn't really win anything because he doesn't really apply himself. He's just kind of a cowboy. So, but yeah, man, it's a really, really great movie. I'm a big fan of it. I watched it.
It's completely underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I watched it the first time when I worked for an independent installer, when I went away from Best Buy for a little bit.
Okay.
And we watched it on a theater that we built in the store. So I watched it like for the first time on like
a personal theater.
Some really crazy shit.
Yeah,
and it was a blast.
Awesome.
So I fell in love with it. And he was a big F1 guy, so when I was working with him, I was like paying attention a little bit more to like the racing and everything like that. So I was like actually watching it on TV sometimes. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely recommend if you haven't seen Rush. We might do that one on the pod or something like that sometime.
Yeah, we can get
that'd be great.
Few car movies on here or something. That's a genre we haven't hit yet.
And then so you rounded out the car movie thing like we were talking about. Tyler and I don't know if I'm speaking too much for you, but one of
I don't care.
Tokyo Drift of the Fast and Furious franchise will always hold a special place in my heart as maybe kind of my favorite. It's just the one I've seen the most.
Well, especially now.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Especially now after you've watched Initial D.
Yeah, it's that one and 7, and then 1, 2, obviously, but
7 the Paul Walker.
Yeah, but I just think James Wan is the best director that's come across on the franchise for a little bit too, and I think he makes kind of like the strongest movie in that one. But so we got to Tokyo Drift. Yeah. Long story short, got to Tokyo Drift. Cool to go back to that one. It's been probably 2 or 3 years for me.
Yeah.
It's definitely the Fast franchise entry that I've seen the most because I think it was it was around the time that I started going to movie theaters with your friends or something.
In middle school
when the movie theater became the place to hang out.
Definitely.
But Adam, you haven't seen any of the Fast franchise, right? Or like a couple of them?
I haven't seen any of them. I mean, I've seen small parts of some of the movies,
like at work and stuff.
Never seen any of them all the way through.
Okay. Yeah, we do need to get to that series as part of the podcast soon.
Yeah, man,
I support that.
That's a staple for me.
I mean, yeah, they're not to cut you off, but just when
no, go ahead.
I was at the theater this weekend, a sneak peek into what I was watching. But they had is it the ninth one?
Yeah, F9.
Okay, yeah, right. So I was like, man, there's
still sounds like a function key.
It is.
Yeah, I just looked down at my keyboard and I was like,
but yeah, I mean, the last thing that I watched, and that's really just because I didn't have anything else. I watched Tyler and I both watched UFC 261 this past weekend. Which if anyone else watched it, what we're talking about.
We don't really have to talk about it.
We all went through something that night. We all experienced that card, and we're all a little bit changed, I think, for having watched that.
Especially if that was your first one.
Yes. Sorry for you if that was.
I still refuse to watch that clip.
Not only that, but it was a crazy night of fights too. There's 3 championship fights on that card. So, and all 3 no. One of them changed hands very decisively.
Thug motherfucking.
But the other ones were also pretty decisive in the other directions too for the champions. So, really good card. It's a good time.
It was a lot of fun. It was probably one of the funnest times we've had, other than I think the first time we watched Adesanya together.
Mm.
And then when Sugar Show and what's his face with the tattoos on his neck,
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, and he had that one off the fence.
Yeah, he threw his
right at the buzzer.
Threw a hook from his head.
Yeah, that was incredible.
But yeah, it was a good card.
Yeah,
good card. That was really all I watched this weekend. I read a lot. And other than that, we were just we watched a lot of Nick Merckx again too.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've been busy.
I'll be curious to see if you would pull away from that a little bit when I don't move, when I'm not here anymore.
I don't even want to think about it. I don't know. I think that's pretty into my rotation at this point. Yeah.
I think it'll also be something you'll be like, I know I can have talk to Tyler about this, or text him randomly and he'll know what's happening.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be our connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Blake, you want to go? Yeah, you were kind of already talking about what you were watching this past weekend.
Yeah. I'll jump into it. So, I ended up getting to the theaters this weekend, so I was able to go with one of my friends. We went in there to see Mortal Kombat. That's going to be what we're watching today. And then I also got a chance to rewatch Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters because he didn't see it yet.
So you did a double feature.
Yeah. So did a double feature there. We were going to go for 3. The third one we were going to do was going to be In the Earth.
See, and I didn't know that had come out yet.
Yeah, that came out, I want to say the weekend before, because I almost went. When I noticed it came out, it was Friday, and it was 9:30. And they had a 10 o'clock showing.
Yeah.
But I was just so tired. I was going. But yeah, that was going to be the third one we're going to do. So I want to try to get to that. But
Let me know if you go see that.
Definitely, man. Yeah. Well, yeah. They say it's pretty good. I think it's kind of maybe like It Comes at Night.
Okay, which I still haven't seen that either. I need to watch that. Yeah,
that's not bad. That's an A24 for anyone who doesn't know, and we kind of went on a few rants of how we feel about A24. Outside of that, what else have I seen? I watched Prometheus.
Nice.
Got to that.
Big fan.
Another franchise. I think I've seen the first one. I don't think I've seen any after that.
Big fan.
You've seen
Alien? The first Alien?
Yeah, so I've seen Alien.
Yeah.
At least most of Alien.
Would you want to rewatch it?
I would love to rewatch it because I don't remember much of it.
Yeah. That still holds up well.
We should add that to the short list.
Yeah, Alien's great, yeah.
Aliens.
Both of them, awesome. Prometheus is good. I think I have a little bit more of a fondness for it than like your average
Prometheus
film critic.
It's growing on me, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of dumb shit in that movie.
I saw Prometheus and like, dude, it blew my mind.
Yeah, I had a really good time. I have a really fond memory of going to see that with my mom.
Yeah.
It's just like me and my mom in the theater. And the part where it snaps that guy's arm, I was like, we are in at this point.
Yeah.
It was good. I was happy that they went like more of a horror angle with it for a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they really stayed true to Alien and Aliens. And just kind of how it was like that space horror.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a blast. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, man, it's good. It holds up well. So I was able to see that. Pretty big fan of the Alien franchise in general. So maybe that's another one, as Adam said, we can add to the short list. Another movie I got to Crimson Peak, which I don't know if any of you guys have seen that.
Yes,
sure
I've seen it once.
Before,
yeah, I need to rewatch it because it's not my favorite Del Toro movie.
And so I rewatched it because it was Del Toro, and it's on Netflix.
Yes, it just came on, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So that was one of the first times I went on Netflix in a while. And I remember seeing it when it came out. And to your point, I liked it, but I was like, it's like a gothic horror. It's not really my lane, but it's whatever. And I rewatched it, and it was pretty good.
Is it? I have a feeling I'd like it a little bit more. I watched it when I was doing my dissertation, so I binged all of Del Toro's catalog basically at that point, and it was one of those ones where like I enjoyed it, but I also felt like I had seen it was like the culmination of all of his work beforehand, and like I feel like everything that he did in that he had done in a more interesting way prior to that point, because like I remember seeing the ghost at the end of it and like looking at his makeup, and it just looked very similar to the makeup in Devil's Backbone. And it was just kind of like this weird, like almost game breaking element to it. So I want to go back and rewatch it now that I've had a little bit of distance from it and everything.
Yeah, it's I'd recommend. It's on Netflix. I rewatched it.
Good cast, if I remember correctly.
It is. Yeah, it's good cast, as you can imagine with the Del Toro. The monsters look really good.
Yeah,
you know.
I remember that being one of the genuine like jump scares that got me in a while. The one on the door handle.
Yeah, it looks good, man. I
was like, oh wow.
You'd be pleasantly surprised, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out, especially if it's on Netflix.
Yep. So that's what I got to. I've still been watching Boondocks. That's kind of my late night show, just going to sleep.
How many seasons of that are there?
I believe 3.
Okay.
I believe 3. Season 2 is really funny. 2's pretty good. Then 3, it kind of tails off.
Gotcha.
I mentioned Godzilla vs. Kong here. What else I have on this list? Oh, and so what I did start, I started it yesterday. Restarted, I should say, was going to be Atlanta. So that's going to be
nice.
Donald Glover.
Yeah, I need to check it out. I've never watched it.
Really? Did you watch Dave? I know Adam's watched Dave.
I didn't watch Dave either. No,
I've seen Dave.
It was one of those things that like, I always knew it was going to be good, and I felt like I was just going to wait until it was done, and then I was just going to like binge the whole thing.
Yeah, that was kind of my premise
on both of them.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, dude, I think both of you guys would like it. What's up, Adam?
I was just gonna say really quick. Dave season 2 is coming out June 16th, I think.
Ooh, yeah, dude.
Sometime mid-June.
That's a first day watch for me.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
They're both comedies, right?
Yeah, Dave's a little bit more of a comedy though.
Yeah,
to be honest, but I think it's just Lil Dicky is just a very funny person.
Sure.
That's just his style of rapping too.
I guess I would have to check it out because for whatever reason, Lil Dicky just like bothered me.
It's funny, dude.
I never really gave it a shot, but
I think you like it, and we're all over the place. But yeah, I mean, Dave is funny enough for I sat and watched a few episodes with my dad, and my dad is a 61-year-old black male. And he's like, this is hilarious. So it fits all spectrums. From old people of color, you know what I mean, minorities to young people. That show is just fucking hilarious, man.
I might go back and rewatch the first season before I watch the second one.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think I'll take you up on that. But Atlanta, if you guys like Dave, Adam, I think you guys would get a kick out of Atlanta. Probably a little bit more of a serious show, but still kind of the same premise.
Sure.
Somebody's trying to be a rapper. It's him and his two friends. His two friends are actually Lakeith Stanfield.
Right.
He's one of them. And the other guy, I hate myself because I'm drawing a blank, but he's in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Brian Tyree Henry?
Yes.
Is that his name?
Yep. So those are his two homies.
Yeah.
And one of them's trying to become, Brian Tyree Henry is trying to become a rapper.
Isn't his name like Paperboy or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
and Childish Gambino is trying to be his manager.
Got
it kind of similar plot to Dave, right? You see some people trying to go through the industry, but it's funny, dude. It's good. So
yeah, I mean, it won a bunch of awards. At least the first season did. I know at one point too.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to check it out, but I just was like waiting for it to be bingeable. Which maybe it is now.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Childish, so
yeah, he's awesome.
That was my main draw, dude. He's so multifaceted. It's incredible.
Yeah,
he's got a good brain.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Adam?
He's like one of the most talented people there is.
Yeah, dude.
He just does so much, and he does it all so well.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I remember him from the Derek comedy days back when he was doing sketches on YouTube, and it was just like, I think
I remember
that was like
me that before.
08.
Yeah. That's before I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah. He was still like an NYU student, and like there's a ton of people on that like out of that show that just ended up doing random stuff. But
yeah.
Did you know him? Were you introduced to him as Childish or
no? It was Donald Glover. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was introduced to him as Childish Gambino.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
I first knew him on Community, so I guess Donald Glover.
Troy.
Glover, yeah.
Right, and that's a show. I think we talked about that before on here.
Community?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Community, everyone listening should watch Community.
Right.
It's awesome.
I know I haven't.
Yeah.
I think that's how you said, or Adam said that's how he ran into Donald
Yeah.
Glover.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, good show, dude. That's all I've watched. If you guys haven't seen that, that's a show you can put on for like a late night type thing, and the episode's like 30 minutes. It's funny, kind of got some serious tones.
Interesting. I'll have to dig into that.
Yeah, man. Do we want to go to Ty?
Yeah, I can go. We got most of my stuff cleared up with Nathaniel, so it should be rather quick. We finished Friends, Hollabagra. Yeah.
How many seasons of that is there?
10.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I was planned to burn through them pretty quick. So we were talking about how we were rather impressed with me not being able to binge it faster. I kind of paced myself thanks to my girlfriend.
He set a good pace.
So, and it actually came at a really good time. Like, I'm getting ready to move out, and so, Friends just ended, and so it's really cool, and it's definitely, something I'll have for a while. It's funny just how much I did not give that show a chance.
I remember talking about
the
that.
Disrespect was strong early.
And,
I mean,
yeah, man, it's fun. I like it a lot.
That's pretty early on in the podcast that we kind of started it. Like, I think we started a few episodes, and then it kind of trickled in, and then we were burning there for a bit.
So yeah, it was good for me emotionally. It was funny. It's a good show. I'll definitely go back to it. Initial D, obviously top notch. Tokyo Drift we had to get into, which was just a fucking awesome ride.
It was a good time.
DK.
That's just a fun movie over and over again, and probably one of the loudest fucking movies we have
no
listened
idea.
to.
Is it really?
Dude, it's so loud. Most of the stuff that we can run as a movie on the soundbar is sometimes we think it's heavy at like 17, 20, and we had Tokyo Drift on at like 13, 10. And then I was like, "This is fucking loud, dude."
The soundtrack's dope. I'm sure
that's a great
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
Half of the,
that's why I want to turn it up. Yeah. I'm battling with myself because I want to have a dance party in my fucking living room, and then I got to realize I have neighbors.
It's genuinely the engines. They idle at so low
the
a
cars
volume
are so
that
fucking loud.
It's all in the bass, and it just carries so much more.
It's incredible. I got around to a couple different things. I was off on a Wednesday, which doesn't usually happen for me, so I was literally home alone for like hours, like pacing, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? But I got into an anime that's on Netflix called Dota, which I believe has
the
to
game?
do. Yeah, so I was gonna say it's an anime, and there's obviously like mythical beasts and some other like wild shit going on. So yeah, I think it has something to do with the game. I didn't really
I'm
look
pretty
into
sure
it.
it does.
I got into there's a Pacific Rim anime on Netflix. It's Black something.
Into the Black or something,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I got like 2 episodes into that, like super early in the morning. I felt like a kid again. I was out here watching cartoons. I was eating a bowl of cereal.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it's
called-
great.
Is it called Dota Dragon's Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's based on the game. Dota
Okay,
2.
that's what I thought.
Mhm.
So yeah, the Pacific Rim was really great. I love those movies. The first one way more than the second one.
I haven't seen the second one.
You're okay without it.
It's just very different.
Yeah. I mean, you could watch it because it's only going to make you like the first one more. So I'm okay with it. So yeah, the anime was pretty fun. I got like I said, 2 episodes into it, and I was kind of losing a little bit of interest, but they were really fun. I was just kind of ready to move on with my day. So watched Rush. I got into I Am Legend, and then I also watched Blade Runner 2049.
I was close to clicking that last week. It was on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But I just needed like 3 hours to watch it. And I was like, dude, I can't commit to that.
Yeah.
Right now.
That was Wednesday morning, I think.
Yeah.
After everybody had kind of left the apartment.
Yeah. That's the time you got to do that movie, though. You got to put it on in the morning.
And yeah, it was still like 8 or 9.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it was already on like a little bit of played because I think I may have played it while we were getting ready for podcast one night.
Yeah,
so.
you used it to drive Leah out of the room at one point.
Got it. Got it. Also, that's not in a mean way.
No, it was very funny.
Sometimes I distract her from doing her homework, and that's kind of my way of like, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Like, you have to go do your homework. So I keep her off track a lot. So, and then like literally 20 minutes before the podcast, we watched a Toy Story short for like 6 minutes. Okay. So
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
I was thinking that was like 2013 or something like that.
Probably.
I love Toy Story.
It's great. It's feel good. Adam?
Complete the squadron.
The squadron. My favorite term. I'll start it off with the shows I watched. How I Met Your Mother, chugging along as always with that one. Demon Slayer got to 3 more episodes or so.
Okay.
So I think I'm at the fight where it's like
Picks up a little bit.
It's the bongos one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the coolest fight ever. I'm so in. I haven't actually finished it because I finished an episode and I really want to start the next one, but my parents visited this weekend and so I had to stop watching. But I'm mid fight right now and it's so cool. I'm starting to get more into it. I'm starting to understand more of the appeal with these past few episodes. And if more fights are like this, or if they get even better, then I totally understand why this show is like so well regarded.
Yeah, it's popular. I know the movie's doing pretty big numbers for the U.S. box office too, as far as those things go. And as we've said, obviously, it's like the biggest movie of all time in Japan.
Yeah.
I've got a few buddies that have been trying to put together a group to go, and I think we'd have to drive like an hour and a half to a theater to go see it.
Damn.
They kind of want to.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
So,
I would
I'm
go.
gonna
I would
try to-
go.
I'm-
Yeah, I mean that's what you do in college, man. That's what
Yeah.
those years are for.
I would go. Fuck it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to finish that pretty soon to go and see that movie with them.
Yeah, I think Nathaniel was just telling me that Waz wanted to go see it on Wednesday, and I was like, man, I would really like to get through the season again because I watched it fairly early on, so it'd be nice to watch it again and then go see the movie right away. And he's like, well, we're gonna go see it like Wednesday, so I was like, I don't know if you can make it. And I was like, I can make it.
I support it.
So challenge accepted.
Yeah. but it's good. It's I'm starting to like it a little bit more.
Good, man.
Dope.
Yeah, and I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I don't want to talk about too much since you guys haven't seen it, but overall the ending for me was fine. I think hopefully we can talk about this more next week when you guys watch it.
Yeah.
And we can get spoilers, but I think it ended some storylines better than others for sure.
Okay.
It got a little heavy-handed at some point.
Okay.
Or at one point, with like their messaging for the whole, Black Captain America thing. It got a little too like direct, even more direct than it's already have been. I don't know. It's kind of weird. You guys will probably see what I'm talking about when you watch it. But overall, I liked it. I think the show as a whole, I can't really, I'm trying to think if I would like it more or if I like it more or less than WandaVision. Part of me wants to say I liked it more, and I think I'll probably lean towards Falcon and Winter Soldier, but WandaVision definitely, those first like episodes 1 through 6 were really, really good, where they kind of built it up and they went episode by episode, changing the sitcom style each episode. Like that was just stylistically really cool for me.
Sure.
And although in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's back to like a typical Marvel formula and a typical Marvel style.
Right.
The story itself, as the show progressed, I mean, episodes 4 and 5 were cool, but they also, like we talked about last week on the episode, dropped a lot of the cool stuff that they had in the first episode, especially with Bucky. And that kind of bumps me out a little bit, and they don't really flesh it out as much as I would like to.
Got
but
it.
overall, I think I'll probably lean a little bit more towards Falcon and the Winter Soldier as a whole.
Sure.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I got to see is, like I said, my parents visited this weekend. Got to see Papa Schwartz in person. Shout out Papa Schwartz.
Okay. Shout out Papa
That's
Schwartz.
always awesome.
I haven't seen him since January when I left for school. I haven't been at home.
Okay.
Did you cry?
all semester, so I did not cry.
It's okay if you cried.
How was that though, man? What did you guys do? Did you guys go out to dinner?
Yeah, it was
get some food?
it was my
What?
fraternity's. Yeah, it was my fraternity's parents' weekend. So everybody's parents were down here visiting. There's a lot of people down here.
With
But it was fun. We got here Friday. We were gonna go
Absolutely.
to a baseball game, but there was rain forecasted, and the game was originally at 6:30, and they moved it earlier to 4, and I never saw that they moved it earlier to 4, and so we missed that baseball game, which kind of sucks. But because we missed the baseball game, we were looking for something else to do, and so we went and saw a movie. We went and saw the movie Nobody.
Oh, with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. So that is from one of the creators of
John Wick, right?
John Wick, yeah. And it's this movie so wants to be John Wick so badly, and in many regards it's the same formula, the same framework of a story.
Okay.
But it doesn't build the mythos of the character nearly as well as John Wick. It doesn't build out the universe to answer the questions of why these people are like this, like why this world is like this. Because John Wick, what's so cool about it is the world is kind of filled with these assassin people that, it's kind of just normal in the underground or whatever.
Right.
This movie doesn't do that at all, and it tries to, but it really just fails at it. And the plot itself is a little weak, and some of the motivations, especially early on in the movie, just kind of seem like they just need the character to do this stuff, and I just don't really. There wasn't actually much of a motivation for it.
When you
kinda,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you have a?
No, you go ahead.
When you say that it doesn't quite answer as many questions as like the John Wick franchise, is that if you think the John Wick franchise had just been that first one, would they be like more on equal footing? Because I feel like they don't really go too far into like the world until like 2 and 3. But if you're saying like it's even less than like the first one too, then I can definitely see
it's even less than the first one.
Okay.
Because the first one, what I like about the first one and what seals it for me is when you see those gold coins and he goes to the Continental.
Sure. Okay.
That's when you kind of understand the world is kind of just set up like this, and that's why it's kind of okay for it to be like that.
Got it.
In this one, it feels more like this is supposed to be happening in a everyday world,
Got
like
it.
our
Okay.
world kind
Got
of thing, and it just doesn't work as well in that way. All that stuff aside, those were like my main nitpicks. I had a lot of fun with the movie. It was really fun. Good action, good action choreography. Christopher Lloyd's in it, and he has some action scenes, and it's pretty funny.
That's always fun.
And it had a lot. It was actually a pretty lighthearted and funny movie at some points.
Okay.
But overall, very entertaining. I would recommend going and seeing it. I mean, if you're looking for something to go see in theaters, it was entertaining. It just wasn't nearly as good as John Wick, and because we have John Wick, it's like hard for me to say this is like a great movie by any means. But Odenkirk's pretty good in it, and like I said, good action. Good. It was a good time overall.
Cool. Yeah, I've been considering checking it out. I'm sure I'll get to it at some point.
Yeah. It's it kind of is gonna it's holding me over until we get John Wick 4, 5.
Sure.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and they set it up for a sequel, so we'll see if we get any more of those.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's it for what we're watching. So we can roll on into the main segment here, Nathaniel.
Oh, you want me to talk about the main segment?
Yeah, I mean, you could just introduce it for
Man, I just need
new
that.
listeners
I just
or
need
the
that
ones that may have forgotten.
every time. Well, if you are a new listener or you may have forgotten, how the main review segment of the podcast works is it itself is broken down into two sections. There is the non-spoiler section, and then there's the spoiler section. In the non-spoiler section, we'll kind of introduce the movie a little bit, talk about its IMDb page, when it was made, who's starring in it, anything like that. We'll go over the summary and kind of decide whether that's any good or not. If it isn't, we'll kind of give our own summary of everything, basically everything that you can up until there's any major spoilers. Once we get to that point, we'll all go around and decide yes or no, do we recommend this movie or not? Has to be yes or no. There is no nuance on the internet. After that, we'll go into the spoiler section where we'll dive into some deeper thoughts, maybe get a little into the meat of the movie a little bit more. And then once we've kind of hashed out everything we can, we'll welcome everyone back to see where it ranks on our Entropy list, which you might have heard of us talk about earlier. It's our big list of every movie we've watched so far in the podcast ranked.
Yep.
So all that being said, Adam, tell me about Mortal Kombat 2021.
Well, this is Mortal Kombat 2021. It is an hour 50 runtime, but it felt pretty brisk. I went by pretty quickly, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys felt about it. The director is Simon McQuoid. Oh man, that's an odd pronunciation there. But
you want it to be McQuaid, but it's McQuoid.
yeah, it's McQuoid. This is his second directing credit. The first one being The Nighttime Economy, which is just a video short. But he doesn't really have anything else on his IMDb page, so I really don't know where they found this guy.
Yeah, I think production around this is definitely centered in Australia, which you can tell at some point,
okay.
Particularly with like kind of some of the accents in this movie.
Yeah.
But so I think he may be also like because I was noticing on his IMDb page when I was looking him up earlier, because I had kind of the same reaction. He looks like he has some producing credits too, so I think it might be kind of like and in the IMDb trivia they were talking about how this movie was like really kind of rooted and was a very Australia heavy production. So it might just be that he might have been like part of the group or was a local director or something like that they had on there. But he definitely knows what he's doing. It's a pretty well shot movie.
Even though we don't really know of him, it was very well directed. For all the action shots seemed
I'd agree.
very well put together. It's starring Louis Tan, Jessica McNamee, Josh Lawson, Joe Taslim, Mekad Brooks. Not too many recognizable names here, unless I'm mistaken. Nathaniel, you did that last week. I don't know. Are there any sleepers I don't know about here?
The gentleman that plays Raiden, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because I think I'll just
Tadanobu Asano.
That's the one.
Yeah.
If you've watched any kind of Japanese movie in the past 30 years, there's a good chance he's been in there at some point.
Okay.
He's very prolific. He's in Thor Ragnarok. He plays in all the Thor movies, I should say. He plays the member of the Warriors 3 with the mace.
Hogun.
Yeah. He was also in a movie called Mongol. That's really, really good as well. He plays the bad guy in a movie called Ichi the Killer, which is this kind of cult horror classic like manga adaptation about this guy that is employed by the mob who goes around killing people with his crazy kicks. But yeah, it's famous for being like a band movie and everything like that. So he's been in a lot of kind of cool stuff. But other than
he has
that,
he has 113 acting credits on IMDb. So he's been around.
He has, yeah. Other than that, no, nothing too crazy that I noticed. But yeah.
I feel like Chin Han is fairly popular.
Oh, from Shang Tsung, yeah.
Yeah, and then also Hiroki.
Yeah, the guy that plays Scorpion.
Yeah, I've definitely
Hanzo.
seen
Yeah,
he's
in a lot of different things. I think he's in Last Samurai.
Yep, he's in Avengers.
Yep.
He's in the Wolverine.
Yeah, he's in a lot.
That's the one that rings the bell.
He will be in Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
There you go.
Oh,
He's in Westworld apparently.
I could see that too.
Probably when they go to the samurai world.
Yeah, he's in quite a few things.
Yeah. But he has 111 acting credits, only 2 behind.
There you go. He and Raiden, they get around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the IMDb summary reads as follows. MMA fighter Cole Young seeks out Earth's greatest champions in order to stand against the enemies of Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. I really don't think that's accurate.
At all, yeah.
The
Damn it.
Other champions seek him out.
I was going to say, Earth's greatest champions find MMA fighter Cole Young.
Yeah. Wow. I'm not sure. Can I flag this IMDb summary?
I'd like to report this, please, to the IMDb.
Yeah, so pretty poor IMDb summary there. But Nathaniel, do you have anything else you would like to add to that little?
Well, we're introduced to Cole Young, and he's a fighter. He's kind of past his prime, and he encounters a group of other people who have a very similar marking to him, and through kind of happenstance and coincidence, he ends up finding out that anyone who has the birthmark, as he calls it, or I think they try and wave it away, are required to fight in the Mortal Kombat tournament. Which is a tournament. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, boys. It's a tournament to determine who gets to control Earth. That is, if the Outworlds win 10 in a row, they take over Earth forever.
Yes,
that's kind of the vibe I got too. Yeah,
that's correct. So that is the Mortal Kombat, is the tournament itself.
Yes,
and in the tournament, are you supposed to kill each other?
You can.
Yeah, you can.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not required.
No, I'm pretty sure there's been a couple different stories of people going in and then like fighting and then they give up.
Okay.
And then there's other people of like anybody from like Outworld they're gonna kill you.
Sure.
If they win, they're gonna kill you.
Got it. All right. So yeah, because never mind. We'll talk about it in spoilers later. Yeah. But yeah, so we find out that the citizens of Outworld are now trying to pick off the entrance from Earth so that the Mortal Kombat tournament never happens, and Outworld is able to take over Earth that much easier. So we kind of that's the basic storyline, and follows it out. So Cole is a new character, correct? He's not been in any of the games before.
That's not a character, no, from the Mortal Kombat timeline.
Yeah.
We'll go into depth on that
later. So I think
that's an interesting choice though, to throw in a new character rather than one that people are familiar with.
Correct.
I like that.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting choice. I will say, I'll come out right away, as you might be able to tell. I am the Mortal Kombat virgin of the group.
Sure.
I've not played any of the games. I kind of know about them through osmosis from culture, and like Blake talk about them. You're definitely the most Mortal Kombat person I know. But I've seen the original movie, and I swear I've seen the second one at some point, but I don't remember it at all.
Why would you?
Yeah, exactly. But again, in the time I watched Mortal Kombat, the original movie was like a year ago, but it was at work too, so you can remember so much of it. But so as you guys Mortal Kombat aficionados, how do you feel about this? I'm excited to hear your opinion.
Do you guys want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
I like to do it. I think it's long overdue for Mortal Kombat to get something of this caliber. We know how the first two were. Then I think there's kind of been like some side spin-offs. I think they might even have like a mini series.
Yeah, there's a web series, I think, at one point.
Which I haven't watched any of those, to be fair. I don't really think they've gotten any good reviews and feedback. But for what it is, I like it, man. For a video game adaptation, you can't really ask for much more. I mean, obviously, it's a really condensed story. We'll get into that for spoilers in terms of stuff they just completely neglected, right? Just due to time constraints.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I like it, man.
Well, is there a through like storyline of the Mortal Kombat universe? Because it's my impression there's not really like one protagonist hero that you kind of follow as you go along.
Yeah, it's kind of Liu Kang, as you can kind of see in this. But obviously that does change. There's multiple timelines. It's interesting.
Timelines?
Yeah, the more you play the game,
sure,
it's interesting. Yeah.
So, like, if you're watching Mortal Kombat, or if you're playing Mortal Kombat 11, is that more or less, does that line up with Mortal Kombat 1 still at this point? Like, have they retconned it enough so everything kind of lines
for the most
together?
part?
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents before we can dive into it. I mean, what do you guys think?
I had a good time with this. I was also slightly buzzed, which I think is also the proper way to enjoy this movie. So I had a beer or two. And allegedly, I'm 100% of age and can have beers. So yeah, I think I was like the right level for this. So it wasn't taking it too seriously. Tyler and I had a great time watching this. We were like, it was almost like, it was a 3:00 showing in the afternoon, and we were on like summer break or something like that. We were talking to the movie. We were, laughing at, like some of the line deliveries, and, some of the lines themselves were really great. There's a couple different ones you could feel like were ad libs that we were really enjoying. The story's the story, Right. This movie got me to, at this point, like, we have so many video game movies now that we can kind of start to like use them as their own genre, and we can kind of see these trends start to emerge now. And it is, I wonder, as a traditional film, this movie's storyline is lacking and is not there. But everyone always kind of, because it is a video game movie, everyone has at this point kind of looks at it as a video game movie, and as a video game movie, it's really not bad,
right?
And so I'm starting to wonder if like they're kind of leaning into that too, because I noticed a couple of different times I was like, this looks like a cutscene. Like this could be a cutscene in the game that we're having it now. Like game technology has come far enough, 100%. And movie technology is easy to just throw that up there. That I feel like there's some intentional. Some intention behind that.
100%.
Cater to the audience.
And kind of, and then just knowing that, again, knowing what you are. But yeah, it was interesting. I don't know.
I liked it.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm definitely, you kind of hit the nail on the head from where I was going with it, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But yeah, this movie knows what it is. If you're watching it, you know what it is. And I think they did a really good job. Especially in comparison to the first two.
Right.
Which, it's harder because, technology is not anywhere close to what it is now. But there's also really funny things that I will come back to about this one that kind of correlate with that. So, yeah, I think this is definitely a recommend for me, especially because if we're talking about this movie, you've heard of it, you're probably really familiar with
if you're listening,
some of the stuff.
If you're listening this far, you're gonna watch this probably.
Yeah. So yeah, Adam, what'd you think?
You guys have basically said everything I can say about it. I did have a good time with it. I kind of just you gotta set your expectations where they are. This is kind of similar to Godzilla, one of the Godzilla movies. I'm kind of just going in it to watch some of the characters I'm already familiar with, fight it out. Some cool fight scenes, like that's all I'm looking for, and that's what it gave me. It delivered on all that stuff. Obviously there's some things I would change with the story a little bit. I mean, it's not flawless, but I'm not expecting flawless with something like this, so I had definitely a good time as well.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like that's probably recommends all around.
4 recommends, I would imagine.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play the spoiler noise.
Let's do it.
Well, you always do this too soon, Nathaniel. Let me give the people a disclaimer. If you do not want this movie spoiled for you, if you're not seeing it for whatever reason, go ahead, check the episode description where you will see the timestamp to take you to the ranking up upon the Entropy level.
Hop upon.
Spoilers.
Shit goes down.
Shit goes everywhere.
Yeah, you could say that. Not as bloody as I was expecting it to be, though. Actually,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it had appropriate amounts. I think any more or any less, I would be a little disappointed either way. And I think it hit the nail right where it needed to be with as far as the gore levels go. I think it was pretty faithful to the gore of the game. They didn't hold anything back by any means. So I was pretty pleased with in that regard.
Yeah, I kind of like this movie as this weird, almost like you can this little element of realism that you get in that fighting movies don't have. Whereas if you're injured, you stay injured, and and you get injured badly often, and like everyone just kind of accepts that.
Right.
And I find that kind of interesting to play with, where they're just like, yeah, well, someone's gonna die, and could be me, could be the other guy, and like that sort of, because it almost makes you it makes me realize that hey, when I'm playing a game, that is part of the mechanism, is that you just start over again every single time. And like I think when things make you think about that, then they're doing something right artistically. Yeah. So I think there's a little bit of merit in there, and a little bit of interest. So what's the storyline that we got here? Eventually, they don't ever actually get to a tournament, which is what was really confusing to me. Is that common procedure?
I think I think there's two big flaws here from the people who are fans of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, let's just get into this. Let's just get into it. You know where this is going.
Yeah, I think the big flaw is there is no tournament. Right. Right. And that the main character, Cole, is not a character.
Okay.
And I think those are probably the two things that kind of make people upset.
Okay.
But outside of that, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they have enough time to put the tournament in this.
Okay.
All right. And I do think that they're going to elaborate on that. You see at the end, he's going to get Johnny Cage.
Right.
So there's a second one.
For sure. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to happen in the second one. They just kind of wanted to set the universe up. But yeah, I think those are kind of the two big gripes most people have with it. But yeah, to your point, that seems to be the story, right? There is some tournament that goes on between realms. There's the Nether Realm, that's hell, where Scorpion comes from. They don't really reference that, but that's Nether Realm. Then there's going to be Outworld, as you see, where Shang Tsung comes from, and then there's Earth Realm. So a little bit kind of ties between those. You see the battle going on. If you win 10, you can end up taking over the next planet. I think Outworld has won 9 in a row, is what you said.
Right.
So yeah, it's good. You can see the stakes are there. I like it, guys. Just I'm going to go on the limb and say, I mean, for a video game adaptation, I think this is one of the better ones I've seen in a while.
I think you're right.
For sure.
I would agree.
Yeah.
They how does this universe work?
What's your question?
That's a very fair question.
Well, it's just like there's technology, but then there's not technology. Some people can breathe fire. Are there different planets?
So you're referring to like Jack's arms?
Well, yeah.
And it like they're like very primitive, like healing, but apparently it's like robotic and it transforms.
Yeah, and then there's dudes that look like they roll out of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then there's other people that like apparently come from Ninja Land, and like there's just I don't know where the universe ends. I guess is part of my thing at some point.
Tyler's right though.
Yeah,
so,
it does.
And I mean it's because it's a video game, right? Like we were like, and what could be cool? We'll have a ninja fight a lizard. That's cool. Like, but yeah, I mean, I think again, as far as video games movies go, I feel like this is a step in the right direction. I feel like at this point we're starting to make movies that we're getting the mixture right of video game reference to film reference, and then I think these are kind of the movies where we'll start to see something a little bit break out a little bit more interesting happen, and then one of these movies is really gonna say something in both an artistic way and a way that informs the video game, and the video game informs the movie, that is really significant. And we're getting closer to that.
Someone's gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah, and it's gonna be different, and it'll be cool to see.
Yeah.
Something I think they should do differently that this movie does, if they want to take that step towards kind of separating video game kind of separating the video game from the movie and making the movie adaptation of the video game, making it more of a movie itself, is those lines where it's like fatality or flawless victory and that kind of stuff. To me, that stuff needs to stay in the game, and I just don't think it has any place in a movie or I mean, it doesn't. They do it fine in this one. Like, it's okay. I'm not super upset about that kind of stuff, but that was one thing where I was like, if that stuff was taken out, I think this would actually feel like more of an actual movie adaptation and less of like the gimmicky kind of or video game adaptations that we've seen in the past.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I kind of gotta disagree, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on board.
Like
Yeah,
I think
I like it.
that's in there just for fan service.
100%.
Which, like, again,
And the fact that like they're narrating it themselves, I think makes it a little funnier.
And I think I'm to the point, like, normally I'd be with you, Adam, but I think there is enough of these movies now that, like, the fact that they do call that out is now a genre choice and is like
something you
it is like established. Yeah,
play with.
Yeah, I think if we're getting to the point where we can do that, then I'm just saying, like, I think for me, this is the movie where I'm like, all right, fine, fuck it. Like, let's just start doing that with video game movies now. Stop trying to make an actual movie out of it. Yeah, and just lean into it a little bit more, because I think that's more the way to go. Because, like, as you said, Blake, especially with something like Mortal Kombat, where there is no kind of set end parameters, and there's never been kind of one flowing story with the typical arc we're used to. You just kind of got to do it.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, and just let it go, right?
Yeah.
But I see your point, Adam. But I also I wonder if it is just like an age thing at this point too.
I think it's definitely a choice. They did it on purpose. I think it's really cool how it almost kind of breaks like that fourth wall. Like, they're looking at the camera, they're talking to you, and that's how you play when you're in the video game.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I'm super on board with that. The other little things I think they played around with really well was like when they were actually doing the fight scenes and Raiden was sending everybody to different worlds. Yeah. Those were different sets for fights that you can have.
Yep.
So it was cool that they would both kind of enter the arena, one with lightning, and then on the other side you get the one coming through like the black smoke. So yeah, I thought that was really, really fun to be able to pull that specific stuff from the video game,
right?
And still have like a movie-esque layout. You're basically watching cutscenes from a video game,
right?
As you're kind of progressing through the story, which again, it's smart. I literally felt like I was kind of climbing the tower from the old school Mortal Kombat games when we were kind of watching it. It was really fun.
Yeah, I liked this movie did a lot of practical effects. Actually, I was noticing as it went through. Which is interesting because some of the CGI in this, or particularly in the backgrounds, I thought missed in some areas.
Yeah.
Which I was
in on Goro.
You did not a big Goro.
I didn't really like the CGI on it.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm sure with the budget that they have,
Jax's arms for me is where I really noticed some of the CGI.
Yeah, there's some
especially his first set of arms.
There's some cyborg CGI in that. Some they just like, okay,
100%.
we can take this from the Snyder cut. Like, you guys using that clip over there? Can we just borrow that?
Goro reminded me of the Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah, you can see like the skin complexion.
Yeah, and his face is almost built the same with like not having a lips.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, that's kind of what that reminded me of. He's massive. I also love that he's a prince, and the fact that they announced that,
reference that,
which is pretty cool. One of the funny things was some of the settings were
goofy.
They were just stupid. Yeah. Like we were talking about the one in the beginning where they're trying to find Raiden's temple, and it looks like they're just like moving the camera around the same scene, and they're like, "What's around that corner?" It's like, I feel like we've been here before. Oh, there's his temple. Right. So yeah, there's like some stupid shit in here like that.
The worst one was the pep talk, which is it's literally a line. Guys, we're not done yet.
Oh, in the. Yeah,
like, turns to the camera and looks hopeful.
Yeah, they're in the.
It's Raiden's safe realm.
Yeah,
it's like a white screen.
Yeah, and he's
after we just
like,
lost Kung Lao.
Yeah, and then like Raiden is just like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, he's just like, wait, we can't be. And then everybody just takes this like dramatic look up at him, and like that's it. Like everybody's really quiet.
How'd you feel about the fact that he just has the Black Panther suit?
Oh yeah,
It's his
yellow and
Arcana.
gold. Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
it just absorbs and then
Is that his
puts
skin
out.
now? Like it
don't know.
seems like it
Yeah.
might be.
I really don't. That's my biggest problem. It's, I do not like that they went with the main character to be a not playable character or non-character.
Yeah.
It's funny. And I mean, I don't
That's
care because
frustrating.
for me, it's
Sure.
new to everyone. You
He
know,
doesn't
or
get like a
everyone's
cool
new.
mask or anything.
No,
like
nothing.
He's
he's
gotta
wearing
act.
sweatpants.
Yeah.
And for a while they play it as obviously they kind of allude to that he may be
Scorpion.
Scorpion's like
Descendant.
right?
I thought he was gonna like possess him, and then
Yeah.
like
I
it-
thought, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was gonna like transform into Scorpion or something like that,
Right.
Or he's gonna get the mask and
Yeah,
look like him. Or
I'm
something.
with you, Adam. Yeah, that's what I thought. Or there's you guys probably don't know, but there is another character who he almost resembles, and he's actually somebody. It's actually somebody Scorpion trains. I think he's in like MK9.
okay.
And his name's Takeda, but he's very similar. Almost has the same outfit, but instead of like blades on his arms, it's like whips.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it
Oh.
kind of
Maybe he'll turn into that. Do you
yeah,
think,
so
maybe?
I think that might be, but I mean they don't have the same name, so yeah, I can't really see where they're
Yeah,
going.
this
with
is like
that.
an immediate blood descendant.
Can
Yeah,
Can
it's
Sonya
weird.
Blade do the punchy sound in the games where the
the
Arcana
purple
that she
things?
ends up
Oh.
with? Yeah.
Yeah, she can.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is like a thing that she does.
Yeah,
I thought she was just like a nice
OP
lady.
as fuck.
Well, yeah,
Also,
we
I
were
love-
watching the show and I was like, oh
Just
my
blows
god,
a hole through that lady.
yeah, that dude's got a laser. She's just like blowing fist-sized chunks out of people.
Yeah.
I also find it amazing that Cole and Kano were looking for their Arcanas for most of the movie. And then she gets her mark for like 10 seconds and knows immediately what her Arcana is.
Yeah.
Well, some people just know.
Yeah, I think you
I
can
guess
you
so.
can no prize that by just saying she'd been training with them or something.
I'm not
you
mad
know?
about it.
Yeah.
Again, it's a video game movie. I'm not trying to
For
nitpick
sure.
this thing. It was something I noticed in the plot. I was like, oh, well, convenient.
Yeah.
When Raiden brings down the lightning shield,
Mhm.
that looks like the same animation from like the first ones.
Oh, yeah, where they
It's
it's chroma keyed
the
in.
white, like,
yeah,
opaque
yeah.
egg around.
I
that's
think
got,
they
like,
did that on purpose.
100%.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what,
without
so
a
that
doubt.
was one of my other things that I think they took little bits of things and
Sure.
didn't make them look good on purpose
Yeah.
to kind of reference back to the first movies, which in a lot of ways, because again, technology was just kind of at the same pace. It resembled the video games a lot.
Sure.
And so yeah, I think that was pretty funny. It almost looked like a little 8-bit kind of
Yeah.
lightning
Yeah.
that comes through.
No, you're definitely right, man. I mean, for the things that they stuck close to for the game, I mean, they definitely nailed it. In terms of Sub-Zero being the villain, right? That's Bihan. Bihan dies as we see in this, and he becomes Noob Saibot. So even at the end, when
That's
he's
why he takes his
fighting-
body.
Yeah, and when he's fighting Scorpion at the end, he takes off like his vest that's blue, and he
Yeah.
has an all black outfit.
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That's Noob Saibot. And Shang Tsung at the end, he was like, death is just a portal to something
Right.
else. And yeah, Noob Saibot's like basically he's himself, and he has like a demon clone. So yeah, so that'll be cool. So that's who he'll turn into, and that's why there's an everlasting feud between the Shai Ryu and the Liu. What is it? Not Liu Kang.
King Lao.
No, I can't think of Sub-Zero's
Oh,
clan name.
I know what you're talking. Yeah, I can't
Lin
remember.
Kuei
either. It
is
is
the-
with
it's
Nell.
Lin
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why they have a huge feud, because the original Sub-Zero killed his whole lineage.
Right.
And then
Okay.
the Sub-Zero that he comes to know, who is not Bihan, isn't evil at all. So they always try to kind of squash that, but his soul has been tormented in hell.
So
he doesn't care.
Noob Saibot is bad, but then there's another Sub-Zero that Scorpion
Right.
is supposed to be friends with.
Correct. So the Sub-Zero basically in the timeline after Bihan dies is a good person.
Got it.
So yeah, they definitely got that nailed right. With Bihan being the original Sub-Zero, he has a black
Sure.
suit afterwards. I like how they went with the Jax thing. I think everyone kind of saw that coming. Like, how is he going to lose his arms?
Sure.
So
That was in one of the trailers, one of the later ones, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was.
So Sub-Zero ends up taking him. I think in the real timeline, I think that's actually done by Ermac.
Okay.
Mhm.
Ermac is somebody from Outworld. He's
Like a sorcerer.
Yeah, he's actually made up of all like so when you see Shang Tsung consume somebody's soul,
Yeah. Okay.
Ermac is made up of souls.
Which
everybody else.
Which I found out is not his line though. Like your soul is mine. Was from the movie first.
Correct. That
Yeah.
wasn't in the video
Yeah,
game first.
yeah.
And now they've put that in the video game.
Yeah, gotcha.
Correct. So yeah, so that's originally done by that. So they kind of just put a play on that instead to make it Sub-Zero. But yeah, man, I'm cool with all that other stuff, dude.
Do you wish it had been Liu Kang rather than Cole Young?
Yeah, I wish it either would have been Liu Kang, or if they were gonna take that path, just make it the actual character from MK9 and MKX, Takeda, who is literally the person like Scorpion.
I could still
Yeah.
see them trying to go that route, and
You-
change his name somehow or something.
I think you're right, Adam. I think that's the path they're gonna take.
Interesting that they gave him a family, and that he's like late 30s. It seems
Yeah.
to be implied.
Yeah, and his daughter seems pretty old for him being in his 30s. So
Yeah, I thought it was just a really interesting choice at
Yeah.
that point. And then, like,
yeah,
do you guys know what? Maybe I'll talk about that at another time. We're getting kind of late on this podcast, but we'll talk about fridging the family later.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, no, it was cool, dude. They pretty much got everything you could ask for. There's a few characters that most people would like to have in there that we didn't get.
I mean, I'd see another one of these. We were halfway in, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll watch another one of these. Why not?"
and that's all that matters.
I would
right?
definitely watch another one.
Right.
I liked Cabal. Cabal is really cool.
Cabal's dope.
Yeah. I like his hook swords.
Yeah, those are neat.
Yeah, those are the same swords that Jet has in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mhm.
So those have always been kind of a favorite for me.
Yeah, he's dope in there. Melina's dope. They got Melina pretty spot on. She's like basically like a vampire.
Yeah.
For the most part, is how you could describe her.
Got it.
And she was created in Outworld by Shang Tsung. The only thing I don't really like, and
She
I
gets
guess,
fucking cut in half.
No, isn't
Yeah.
that someone else?
no, that's
not
her.
Melina.
Oh,
never mind.
Sonya, shoots I don't even know what you want to call them.
Yeah, the wrist
Those
cannons.
plasma things, yeah.
Yeah.
And it actually puts a hole through Melina, and that's directly from a game,
Oh, really?
or like one of her fatalities is that.
Gotcha.
So stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that
cool.
is like you'll just catch them like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool, you know. So yeah, that's cool. The only thing I don't really like is that there's a few characters I think should have been in there. I wish they would have did Johnny Cage in there just because he's a huge
Yeah,
Mortal
I
Kombat person,
would have
but
loved Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
but it seems like they're setting it up for him to be in the sequel.
for
so
sure,
that's
for
good
sure.
news.
I think he'll probably end up being one of the main characters in this one. And
Yeah, definitely.
the fact that they do have Melina in there and not the rest, because she's a clone.
Oh.
So to not have like the other,
Wow, this universe does have no rules.
yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Oh,
but they
it's
don't
wild,
have
man.
Jade or Katana, which are people she's cloned after, like their DNA.
Gotcha.
So, but you assume that stuff will probably be added into the second one where
Yeah.
you see the world build. But yeah, dude, I'm cool. It's a great video game adaptation. One of the best I've seen in a long time. Probably up there with, I don't know, probably the first Silent Hill or like the first top two video game adaptations I could think
Mario
of. Off the top of my head. That was
obviously,
terrible.
it's obviously as good as Mario Brothers.
Yeah. But yeah, man, dude, that's cool. Popcorn movie. I saw it in theaters. I'll watch a second one. That's all you can ask for.
There you go. Our Mortal Kombat expert gives it his seal of approval. Should we find out where it ranks Hop Upon?
We sure can.
Let's do it.
Throw it up there.
Welcome back, listeners who skipped over the spoiler segment of the podcast. We're going to go ahead and throw Mortal Kombat up upon the entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of every movie we have reviewed, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else, all on one fantastic list. If you'd like to view the list for yourself, you could do so by checking the episode description where it is linked to my Letterboxd. Blake, I'm going to head to you, sir.
I figured you'd go to me first, man. Let me pull this list up, bro.
Man. This is going to be an interesting one, folks.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting one as I'm looking at this list.
There we go. Okay. This
if you need some time,
you can't see his face, folks.
Yeah.
It's tough one.
It gets this more difficult every week. I love Godzilla. King of Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. After watching those back to back, I think I like Mortal Kombat more. So that already puts me above, what's that, 33.
Mm-hmm.
how much higher are you going? Because you're hitting The Descent.
I know, and that's
and then Tenet, and then Insidious. Like you're climbing.
I know.
You get to 33 and you're climbing fast.
And I'm on record
those are some
saying a lot. The Descent I have a soft spot for that, and that sitting at 30 just makes me sick. So I don't think I can put it over The Descent. To be honest, I think I'm gonna put this after Blind Spotting. For everything it is, to be a video game adaptation, I think it's pretty spot on. There are some problems, but I mean that's going to be with most movies. But I definitely think they try to cater to the fans, which says a lot. And video game adaptations are known to be like dog shit, as we're all kind of aware. And I think this is one of the better ones to come out in the past 10, 15 years easily.
Fair. Yeah. Ty?
Fuck.
We can skip if you want.
No, I mean, I really don't want to go much higher than that. I think I kind of want to go like 29.
29?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So 29 below Insidious, right above Tenet.
Yeah. I kind of hate putting it above Blind Spotting and Ma Rainey's, but I think I like it better than The Descent a little bit, maybe. I really do like The Descent, but I definitely like it better than Tenet.
Tenet's still the one.
Tenet.
Tenet's going to be the movie that
that
definitely is like screams reevaluation more than anything. Maybe I need to watch it again. I don't know. It comes up more
Maybe.
often.
I'm going to say 29.
I would say that, man. I'm 3 watches in Tenet, and it's...
We need to watch it again.
Yeah. You've only seen it one time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. You owe it to yourself.
I've seen it. I've seen it twice, and I still feel kind of meh about it.
29.
Okay. So
29?
you're
All right.
you're going above Tenet.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
All right, Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not 29.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Listen, I think this movie is good, and I think this movie is a great example of where video games are going. And I like where I'm going to put this sounds mean, but I've got it at 38. It's like I think it's right under Wonder Woman, and I think it's miles better than Borat. Like everything else
I can live with that, because when you said 38, I looked. I'm like, wait a minute, is that after Borat?
No, but it's I just think and I think there's going to be a ton of room between this movie and Borat and Borat afterwards. But and I think it's going to stick pretty close to those guys. But I just would rather watch Wonder Woman, Trick or Treat, Godzilla, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, all of those movies again before I would watch this again. Yeah. Not that again anything that this movie's done is particularly bad or anything like that, but yeah. So that's where I've got it, 38. It's a good video game movie. There's some pretty significant plot issues, or it just formula. The formula is there.
It doesn't make me care.
Again, I don't really care all that much either. That's why it's still up there. Like if this movie wasn't a good time, if it wasn't
a video game,
it would be at the bottom of the list. But because it is charming and like there's a certain amount of fondness I have for it.
The fuck?
Yeah. We didn't talk about Kano enough, to be honest. By the way,
Kano
is by far the best. The best part about this movie is Kano.
Wah, wah.
What were you saying, Adam? You kind of got drowned out when we were laughing.
Oh, I said Kano is definitely an interesting part of this movie, an interesting character choice for sure.
Yeah,
he's not like that in the games.
Oh man, he was cracking me up though. But yeah, so 38 for me. Good movie, not a great movie.
Cool.
He's
enough.
dead.
I'm really torn because I want to put this like right below King of the Monsters, but I also like this a lot more than Godzilla vs. Kong. So I think I'm gonna put this at 33, below Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and above Godzilla vs. Kong.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that, by the way.
So I think the middle ground is probably going to be between me and Adam, and I'm fine with putting it below Ma Rainey's. I could live with that.
I can live with that because, like I said, I
that's a good
like
film.
this. I like Blind Spotting and Ma Rainey's better than this, but like Tenet just kind of fucks my whole
I
day
do
up.
really
sure.
love Ma Rainey's and Blind Spotting. No chance it's getting above Blind Spotting. You guys
Yeah,
know that.
that's where I drew the line. I was like, I can't put it above there, and I can't put it above The Descent.
Yeah, Ma Rainey's is tough too because I do like Ma Rainey's.
Yeah. So 33 it is.
33. Slotted in below Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and above Godzilla vs. Kong.
Charity Tree.
33.
Episode 50
All right.
coming up, ladies and
Yeah,
gents.
next week.
Half a what's that? Half a
Yeah, we are
century?
going to be reviewing the movie Dunkirk.
Woo!
Which I haven't seen.
Me neither.
I don't know if you have.
Have you seen it, Nathaniel?
Yes, I have.
I might have
saw it in
seen.
Dolby.
You know what? I've seen parts.
Yeah.
I know I've seen parts. I've never watched the whole way through that I can honestly
seen
say
it,
that I
Adam?
remember.
Have you seen it, Adam?
I think I saw it in IMAX. But yes,
Okay.
I have seen it.
Is that's a Nolan?
I haven't
It
seen
is.
it since
Yeah.
theaters. That's
Yeah.
a Nolan one, yeah.
I think I've seen bits of it since theaters, but yeah, this will be definitely my first rewatch since then. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be good.
I have it
I
on
think this will be one.
4K Blu-ray. 4K Blu-ray. I haven't opened it yet.
Ooh,
well, there you go.
yeah.
So this week-
No 5-star review this week, but please give us one. Give us a 5-star review. Hey, you. I'm
Yeah.
talking to you. I'm listening. You're listening to my voice. I'm talking to you. If you give us a 5-star review, I will read it in this voice to you or whoever wants to. You want to have read it. Just give us a 5-star review. We'll read it on the podcast. Can't be any less than that. Sorry. You can say whatever you want though. You can be mean or funny or angry or whatever. But it's just got to be 5 stars.
Yeah.
Really quick, listeners. Dunkirk is streaming on HBO Max for your viewing pleasure. So go ahead and check it out there.
Once you've checked it out, give us a 5-star review.
Do it.
Please do. All right. Yeah, please share the podcast as well. That'd be much appreciated. Share it with a friendly or friend, family member.
If
I almost
you
said friendly member.
if you a friendly member of the Mortal
friendly
Kombat
member.
tournament,
Oh, I don't know if there's many of those.
but if you do happen to find one, if you find yourself with an invitation to the Mortal Kombat tournament, first grab a
Ah.
friend because you're probably going to need a backup, and maybe while you're on the way there, share the podcast with them and just be like, "Hey, if I die and this is the last thing I listen to, I want you to know." And if this is the last thing you listen to, good luck.
And tell all your enemies to spread it in the other realms. You know,
Yeah.
we'd love to get some listeners over there in what is it, Overworld?
Outworld.
Outworld, sorry. Outworld and
Outworld,
another
Inworld.
realm, whatever it is. So yeah, we're really looking to expand our outreach there.
Sooner or later, you might find Predator or Alien.
Terminator, I think, is around there at some point.
Yeah.
Robo.
Do you think they'd ever
all
put
of which
those
those people-
other characters in this movie?
All
No.
of those characters are actually in the video games. though.
Yeah,
So
but they wouldn't put them in
that's
the
fine.
movies at this
No,
point.
I don't think they put in the. But then again, anything goes. So
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe in
Like
Space
that.
Jam 3.
Oh,
That'd be cool if they had like a third or
Jason?
it
fourth
would be
one.
cool.
Yeah, Jason.
Jason?
Wasn't Freddy Krueger in one of them too?
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
9.
yeah,
Nine.
Jason's in 10. They put Leatherface in 10.
Mm.
In 11, I don't think they did any horror.
No, it was like
guys
Terminator,
in this one.
RoboCop, Rambo, like all those guys.
Yeah.
right?
they put Alien in 11.
Aliens in 10. Aliens in 10.
Oh, Aliens
with
10.
Predator.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Xenomorph.
Yeah, this one I think it's just Terminator, Rambo, RoboCop. That might be the only.
Dead or
movie
alive, you're
characters.
coming with me.
I think he says that in the game too.
He should. I'd be mad if he didn't.
Truly.
All right. Well, you can follow the show on Twitter at Banter Row, on Instagram at Back Row Banter Pod, and on YouTube at Back Row Banter. Please
Yes,
go subscribe to
sir.
us on YouTube. It is completely free. We're trying to get to 100 subs. Once we get there, I think we can get the URL changed to youtube.com/Back Row Banter because right
You're-
now it's just a jumble of letters. And then our email is backrowbanterpod@gmail.com for any questions, comments, concerns, or grievances. Please send them our way.
So if you want us to cover
BlakeHolder.
anything, recommendations, shoot them to us, email, Instagram, whatever.
If you don't want us to cover anything, I want to know what those are too.
Yeah, please. Yeah, if you don't care to, I don't know, if you don't care to have the second Fast and the Furious on there because you think it's terrible, tell us that.
Yeah, I want to know about it.
Yeah. Where you can find me, Letterboxd, BlakeHolder. I'll be on there, tagging some few things in every once in a while. Outside of that, I mean, that's going to be about it. My Instagram's tagged on the Instagram page for Back Row Banter. Back Row Banter, excuse me.
And Banter to our
That was
British
classy.
friends.
That was classy as fuck.
What accent would that be?
Banter?
Yeah.
It sounds vaguely British. We'll go with that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it, ladies and gents. We'll pass it on to Nathaniel.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Letterboxd at NathanielG92 or at NSGangrick. Figure out between those two of those which one it is. Sandpiper Tapes, follow that. Give that a listen if you wanted to. New stuff should be coming pretty soon with that kind of stuff. Once we get the move done, then I can kind of go back to working on a little bit more of that. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, folks. We'll be talking to you soon. Ty, what do you? Where can they find you?
You could see me on Twitch every now and then, mine and Nathaniel's face, and then we'll hopefully figure out what we can do with split screen.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Or we'll just get Nathaniel's stream going.
Could be that.
But yeah, you can find me on Twitch. We did stream last night, surprisingly. Just for
Try to tune in
randomly.
Try to tune in. I was at my girlfriend's apartment and I didn't have very good reception and her Wi-Fi sucked, so I couldn't really watch.
All good. Much appreciated about the thought anyways. But yeah.
I will get there eventually.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The more people I have in there, the more fun we have. So yeah, it's always a good time. Sometimes Nathaniel and I like to consume an alcoholic beverage or two while we're streaming and we get a little bit more fun. So that's at twitch.tv/El Trabajo, ELTRBAJO87.
87.
And then you can also find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter as Tyler Vidalis, VIDALES.
Oh.
Adam, what's good?
I'm on Twitter at H24. Letterboxd is just at H, and Twitch for all the video gaming fun that I will soon be having because I really do plan on streaming as consistently as possible over the summer. Like I said, I'll be moving home in about 3 weeks. So look out for that, twitch.tv/H. I think that'll do it for episode 49. Join us next week for episode 50, 50.
50.
Review. Thank you guys for listening. We'll
Big
be
milestone.
Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the podcast. Be excellent to each other, and we'll BRB.
Yeah, share, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to help us out. We greatly appreciate it.
Get in a fist fight.
Yeah, fight somebody. I don't give a shit. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys next week, and be good to one another. Spread love. Yeah, BRB.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody listening. Like I said, we're pushing 50 episodes, and anytime you can get to 50 of anything, I would say that's a lot, right? So that just kind of shows that we're dedicated to this and that you guys listen. So that's awesome, man. We appreciate it. We wouldn't be a podcast without you guys. So we'll see you next week for Dunkirk, another Nolan film. Hopefully that doesn't make us fucking deaf. But we'll go from there.
And hope
BRB.
the characters talk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Don't get in a fight.
America. Ready for another lesson.
Yo, please tell me you guys watched those fights, or at least saw what happened.
I did a
I
little
saw
bit,
what happened.
just because my buddy.
I don't even. I heard what happened to that guy's leg, and I do not plan on watching that replay.
You haven't seen it?
Oh
No,
no,
I have not.
I'm not aware of that. What happened?
Oh.
Was that the main card?
Well, it was on the
no.
main card,
Yeah, it was
but it
on the
wasn't
main
the main
card, but it
event.
wasn't the main.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Weidman. R.I.P.
I'll
What happened? I'm sure he broke his leg or something.
Oh,
like that.
I'll send it to you.
Where did he break it? Was it like his femur or his shin? Or
Bro.
Just was it off a kick? Or did he get kicked?
Yeah. It was crazy is when Anderson Silva broke his leg the exact same way. It was against Chris Weidman, and then Chris Weidman breaks his leg in that exact way
Against somebody else.
Yeah, it's like a curse.
Mm.
It's happened 3 times in the UFC, and 2 of them involve him.
But were they doing the kicking, or did they receive a kick?
Same thing. Yeah. So the guy that breaks his leg is the one doing the kicking.
Okay.
So he like steps into it, just whap.
Check your Instagram.
And Uriah Hall just checks it. And it's
Adam,
like,
do you want it?
It's like a swinging door.
Yeah.
What?
The video.
And then he doesn't know, and he steps back on it.
You don't want it? Okay.
No,
I won't send it to you then.
Yeah.
It's a bad one. It's a bad one.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's tough.
So we're all watching that live.
Oh, I know.
Everyone goes nuts.
Bro, we were like with a group.
Well, what was
of, like,
crazy too
people.
was the fight before that. A guy had kicked the back of another guy's knee, and there's a nerve that runs from there to your foot. And if you hit that nerve correctly, your foot just drops. Like it won't work.
It doesn't work.
For the rest of for at least like 10 minutes or so. And so he hit a guy with that in the middle of the round. And so you would see him like trying to save on it. We're all cringing off of that. And then the exact next fight,
He's just
snaps his leg.
he's like constantly rolling his ankle because he can't.
Yeah,
his
foot just doesn't work.
It's
Yeah,
asleep.
They won't stop a fight.
They
for
did.
That, right?
They did stop it.
So he gets to the end of the round, but if he's there, he can fight on one leg. But yeah, it's if at any point it's like to the point that you're no longer intelligently defending yourself, that's when you stop the fight.
I figured that would be what it's like, because it's like that with the boxing.
Because there's been guys that have like broken an arm and just like stuffed it in their pants and just like fought the rest of the fight with it, and they just keep on going. But
yeah.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on. Yeah.
I'm sure that guy tapped out after he broke his leg, right? I'm sure that.
Oh,
fight
he
was,
never.
that fight was over.
It was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never even. It was the
first
strike.
contact.
Yeah. The other guy won without ever throwing a strike.
Wow. So that was
Yeah.
like the beginning of
It
that
was
fight.
the exact. It was as early as it could possibly be.
Yep.
It was the first strike thrown.
Seconds in.
That's tough.
That's crazy. I did see the final punch, the knockout of the main fight.
Yeah, Usman, KO, and Masvidal.
Yeah, I watched some of that with one of my friends.
That was
Do
a
you guys
mean
watch-
punch, dude. He totally clocked that guy.
Yeah. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you guys watch
you're good.
or did you guys follow any of like the Jake Paul fights when he fought the guy who does the wrestling or who
yeah.
was a retired wrestler?
Yeah, the guy he
Retired
fought,
whatever.
the guy he just fought, it was from Mizzou. He was a Mizzou wrestler.
Yeah, I saw that he won like a few NCAA titles and things like that.
He was a very, very good wrestler. Like is a former Olympian wrestler.
Yeah.
Widely and longly known in the MMA community as having the worst boxing in MMA.
Striking.
Yeah. Like he is the worst boxer that's ever been in the UFC. So and he's what 42 I think at this
Something
point.
like that,
40, 38.
Oh, so he's definitely up there.
Yeah.
He retired from MMA to have his hip replaced. And before that, Masvidal, the reason Masvidal is so famous right now basically is from his knockout of Ben Askren, because that's the one you've seen it where he jumps in the air and KO and leaping knee KOs him.
I'm sure I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
And
So
so-
that happens to be that guy.
That was that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So like there was no part of me that was like, oh, he's going to win this.
Yeah.
I thought he might take a couple punches, but also Ben Askren also fought his career at 170 pounds. Jake Paul cuts to 190. Like,
Yeah.
anyone with any sort of knowledge of the game
Knew
Right.
that there was a
knew
serious
that
disadvantage.
it was
Yeah.
95% to 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious what you guys think, just because you guys follow fighting way more, and I've actually seen Jake Paul on a podcast. I tune into it's 3 guys. They all played in the NFL. One's Brandon Marshall. I don't know if you guys know his names. Chad Johnson.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they had him on there like last month
Yeah.
and just talking to that dude like, how did you get into fighting and stuff like that? And he was kind of able to give his background.
The kid's good. Like,
Well,
yeah.
And from hearing that podcast, he was like, dude, I take this shit like serious. Like people think I'm just like bullshitting. You know what I mean? He's like, no, dude, I'm training for every fight.
Yeah,
I do."
he's
And I'm like,
he's definitely like, he's got skills and everything like that. Do I think? But he's just so far behind any other boxer that would be his age.
Oh, for sure.
Than
Yeah,
like or any other professional. Like, and he's playing it exactly correct. Like he did an athlete Now he's done a fighter, or a former champion, you know, and silver medalist or an Olympian. And now, his next one will be, I'm sure, another fighter or another boxer or something like that. But eventually he'll get to real people, or he'll get to his point, and then he'll make a ton of money doing it. It won't really matter.
Right. And I'm sure he already makes a ton of fucking money now. I mean,
of course he does.
What did that fight do last time? Didn't they said Ben made? I don't know. They said
he made $500K in purse. He'll make probably, I'd say, $1.5 million when at the end of pay-per-view points and sponsorships and all that kind of stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm sure he takes his money in Bitcoin because he's a big crypto guy.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, man, I wasn't really aware of how serious he was going to take it. And he's a pretty big guy. Like you said, he cuts to 190.
Yeah, he's athletic. He's tall. Yeah. Like he has talent as a boxer. There's no denying that. But I mean, don't get it twisted either. Like if any boxer that's solely a boxer goes into MMA, and they fight anyone of UFC level caliber, they're not going to win.
Yeah, right.
I fucking hate the kid though.
Yeah.
He's Jake Paul.
Yeah. He's just a...
Pete Davidson had I think the funniest reaction to it, where he was interviewing Ben Askren. He's like, "No, of course I don't like the guy. He's a piece of shit. Like he made his money selling shitty merch to kids, and now he's a terrible influence for him. He's the worst kind of person." I was like, "Yeah, thank you, Pete Davidson."
And now they have beef. Now it's like all over TMZ that Pete Davidson and
I saw him like
Pete Davidson is also another guy that knows how to play that marketing fame game 100%, and he's smart too.
I thought I saw Pete Davidson talking to Jake Paul before the fight.
Yeah, he did. He was
locker room. I don't know what the
he was there as a commentator.
Okay,
worst commentary I've ever heard, by the way. It was just 7 people screaming.
Yeah. I think Snoop Dogg was on there too, right?
He was, yes.
I saw a handful of the cast or the announcers. I was like, this is weird.